Hello and a very warm welcome back to Africa Goes Live. My name is Michaela Soule. I'm running a representation company in Germany called Michaela Soule Marketing. I used to live and work in tourism for 25 years in Southern Africa, and I run a fabulous African portfolio throughout Africa and Namibia. And today I'm joined by a fabulous portfolio member of mine, and that is Carsten Ludwitz with Ondili Lodges in Namibia. Hi, Carsten.
Hello, Michaela.
How are you? All right?
I'm doing well. And yourself?
Thanks. Wonderful. Well, I hope that we get the quarantine sorted out soon, that we can all travel again to fabulous Namibia and experience all these beautiful Ondili lodges. What is to me the most important thing about talking about Ondili is the diversity of Ondili, and also that we actually run our Ondili lodges throughout Namibia, through the whole of Namibia actually, and more to come, I believe.
Yeah.
So I've prepared a couple of things that you can actually sort of show, Carsten. These are some of our lodges at the moment. Just help me quickly. The first one is Windhoek, Timelen.
Yes. So we have them spread over quite nicely over Namibia. The first one is Timelen in Windhoek, is a boutique-style guest house. Then in the south we have the Kalahari properties, which are Teufelskrallen Tented and Kalahari Red Dunes Lodge. And as we go towards the Namib Desert, we have the beautiful Desert Homestead Lodge. And then, of course, the Desert Outpost. In Swakopmund, I'll tell you a little bit later about. Hohenstein Lodge, Erongo Mountains, unique scenery, the property there. Then Damaraland, Twelffontein Adventure Camp. And last but not least, Etosha Oberland Lodge.
That is actually very new still, because Etosha Oberland actually just sort of opened with starting of 2020. So we are very proud, and it's
not a great time to open a lodge, but yeah.
But you know what? It will be a great time for the lodge, because the lodge is super nice. We had fabulous guests already staying with us, and they all loved it. So the lodge is absolutely extraordinary and super nice. I'm taking you right into the Namib now with Carsten, because at Ondili, sustainability is a huge subject for all the lodges, not only in the Namib, it's actually throughout the Ondili lodges. Every lodge has own projects. You can read about it all on our website. We are not wanting to bore you today. We actually want to tell you some really fabulous and hot stuff. The biggest project that Ondili has founded so far is actually the Namib Tsaris Nature Reserve. And I'm talking about 120,000 hectare game reserve, and Carsten is running us through this project now. It's called Namib Tsaris Nature Reserve, and it's actually in the greater Sossusvlei area. And Carsten, tell us all about it, please, because it's such a great project, actually.
Yeah, no, it's a wonderful concept, Michaela. The concept is basically that to be sustainable, that doesn't just mean to have solar geysers and recycle your water. It means a bit more. How can we reduce the impact of tourism in the areas that we operate? And the concept Ondili has developed over the years and is actively doing now with this Tsaris Reserve is that for every bungalow or guest unit that we build, we convert 1,000 hectares of mostly agricultural land back into a natural habitat. And that is essentially what's happened with Namib Tsaris Reserve. Now, I don't think we have 120 units built already, but we have some room to improve.
So you doubled.
That's the concept. Yeah. So the concept is that, and it should not be only for the Sossusvlei area, it should in every area that we operate. That's the idea, to turn land that was used for agricultural uses mainly back into a nature reserve. You can see some of the images here. The deconstruction of those farmlands is a huge job, where we also employ a lot of people out of the community that do that defencing work in this image, for example. But also the roads had to be rebuilt, the deconstruction of old buildings and all that is creating employment. And that is essentially what the start of this Namib Tsaris Reserve is.
Which is
So
a great,
it's a,
really great project, actually, because I mean, if you implement this to all of the different areas that Ondili Lodges is basically situated, that means a tremendous lot for conservation. And especially for fauna and flora, I would say also, because then you can actually sort of bring the animals back into these areas, basically, where they have been pushed away by basically by humans.
Yeah, I mean, Namib is the perfect example of people were farming in an area with very low rainfall. So the farming was not profitable, and a lot of the species had been pushed out, as you mentioned. And we will definitely reintroduce most of the species that naturally occurred in those areas. And yeah, someday it'll all look like it probably once did before fences and all those things came.
All right. So, I would like to just sort of also for our viewers to understand that the financing of especially the Tsaris Namib Nature Reserve works really through our two lodges in the Namib, and that's Desert Homestead Lodge and Desert Outpost Lodge. And they contribute directly to the conservation of these areas by donating their full annual profit. And thus each and every one of our guests, and thank you very much to everyone who's staying with us, actually really contributed to this fabulous success so far. So very, very big thank you to everyone directly and indirectly involved. Fabulous. I think this is really something that one needs to be pushing, and to bring all these fabulous creatures back into these areas so that we all have more fun again when we're driving through and when we're walking.
And I think it's important also to mention that this story will be told now. So the whole idea and the concept of this will be told to our future guests, and hopefully this will also motivate guests to obviously to stay with Ondili, because they get the feeling that they're doing something really good for not just the environment, but the whole of Namibia.
I think, as you said, it's important, and we haven't spoken about it actually so far, just on our website. And I think it's time with basically sustainability be such a big word these days, and people talk about it and they want to change things, and everyone wants to have as low impact as possible. I think this is really a very big thing to be told, and we will do so. Carsten, I think we need to have a little bit more fun now. And I want Carsten to actually tell us all about some of our activities. Most of them are happening on foot or on horseback. So we have some really great outings at each lodge. Each lodge really has some individual things to do. I'd like for Carsten to tell us a little bit about the Trans-Kalahari Walk, which is happening obviously in the Kalahari at the moment from Teufelskralle Lodge, I believe.
Yes. So we at Ondili, we looked at other things to do while at the lodges. Namibia is a big country, and you mostly just stay 1 or 2 nights at the lodge or stay. But we focus on how can we keep guests at our lodges for another night, or maybe give them something to do than rather just sit in the car. So these activities are active activities, but they are not overly tiresome, so everyone can join. This is the Kalahari Walk is basically a 2-day walk, but it's a very laid-back slack packing. So you just have your basics, your camera and your binoculars, and you walk through the property at the Kalahari. It's a guided walk, of course. Our guides accompany the guests, and you can learn all about the secrets of the Kalahari. There's a nice breakfast spot where at sunrise you can enjoy your breakfast. And the walk goes until just after lunchtime, we arrive at our dunes camp, which you can see on the screen at the moment.
And that's really sweet, eh?
Yeah, it's basically a private lodge on a Kalahari dune for the guests that participate in that walk. It's got a little pool, it's got outside showers, it's got a nice deck, and then these beautiful little rondava rooms. So it's basically your own private lodge that you can enjoy after your walk. And then I think you spend the night there.
Yeah. But I think what you should be mentioning is also, I mean, there's some people who have never been in Namibia. There is loads and loads and loads of space, There is nobody else there than you and some animals, and that's just it, you know. So you don't meet people, you don't see people. There is no cars, there is nothing there. So this is the most spectacular basically spot you can be on at the moment in Namibia in general, and we show you some more spots just now, but Kalahari Dunes Camp is definitely one of the spots where you should be aiming for when it comes to being isolated and to be alone and to be having loads of space.
Just to feel the space Namibia has to offer, absolutely.
I must say, when I travel to Namibia, I love the smells in the morning, you know, when it's sort of the morning dew, when the grass, or when it's still a bit moist and it starts to dry up. I think Namibia is something that tickles all your senses, actually. It's not only the eyes with all the different colors and the beautiful sceneries, it's actually smells as well. It's beautiful, actually. I love it, and I can't wait to go back again. Carsten, you mentioned something very important, I think, which should be a bit highlighted a bit more, because I get this question quite often. The walks, is the walk difficult to do? Is it, but there is no uphill and downhill. It's actually an easy walk. You just probably need proper shoes, probably. Yeah.
You need a proper shoes, and of course, in summertime it can get a bit warmer. But as it's quite flexible, our groups are very small. So if somebody feels that it's too strenuous, we can arrange that the guests don't have to finish the walk. So you can the route is flexible. So there's many places you can go. So the walk can be it can be a full day of walking, or it can be a half day or 3-hour walk. So it's very flexible.
Super. All right, and then we jump right into the Namib, and we want to talking
about space. Yeah.
Yeah, that is why I put this photo on, because it's really unbelievable. This is you stand there and you hear your own breath and your own heartbeat, and there is nothing around you apart from you and probably a partner or your friend. So this is another really great activity that we offer, Carsten. It's our sleep out, and I believe you've been there just now.
I was there just last week, and it's one of the most amazing spots. The first thing I said when I got there is like, whoever chose this spot knew what they were looking for when they chose it. But this spot is a bit different to the Trans-Kalahari walk, because the access is actually on horseback. So it's a short ride, about 1.5 to 2 hours on horseback, very easy riding, and our horses are well trained, so we can take beginner riders, also guided. And then you arrive just before sunset at this beautiful spot, tents set up, stretchers, so all the luxuries of glamping, I would say.
Super.
And yeah, that's the view you have, and also
stunning.
You have that whole, as you said earlier, you have that whole area to yourself. There's no one else around.
And is this place basically within that 120,000 hectare of Tsaris reserve?
This is closer to the desert. So this property borders nearly on the national park of the Namib Park. Namib Tsaris Reserve borders against this. So this whole area is part of the Namib Tsaris Reserve, yes.
Absolutely stunning. And look at the space again. But Carsten, we also have some updates on our lodges, because this is something that a lot of people are asking us as well. We do a lot of renovations at the moment and building. And I just want to, before we close up, just go through a couple of them so that people have the updates from the horse's mouth and hear you talk about it. Basically, please let us know what's happening at Kalahari Red Dunes Lodge at the moment.
Yes, so Kalahari Red Dunes Lodge will be, there will be some extensions done to the rooms. So the rooms will be made a bit bigger. We will build a whole new reception spa area. That is the new plans that I just heard about last week. So the major structures of the lodge won't change. So it will be just revamped now after the flooding, revamped, and then just a new reception area added.
Cool.
The other updates we have is Desert Homestead Outpost, which I visited last week. The developments there are also going very fast and very well. So the rooms have all been made a bit larger, so there's more space.
Even more space than it was.
Even more space. We've added another small swimming pool and more areas for the guests to relax, like new Lapa areas or salas, and the whole setup will stay the same, but the rooms will be made a made a little bit bigger.
Just a quick
The
question,
other
because
ones, yes.
Carsten, I just wanted to ask you something. We used to have that walk between Outpost and Desert Homestead. Are we still doing that when Outpost is up and running again?
Yes.
Fabulous.
Yes. So
Because
the walks, the hikes at from Desert Homestead, where we have the Namib Mountain Trail, and then we have the Namib two other walks in the Namib area. They were only possible with one is with overnight at Outpost and one with a lunch at Outpost, which we have now stopped for the time being while Outpost is being rebuilt and remodeled.
But the mountain trail, I believe you can still do from Desert Homestead. Is that right?
Yes. Yeah, that's a round trail, so that just goes all around one or up and around the mountain and then back to Desert Homestead.
And also for people that are not as fit, or do you have to be really super fit for that?
Well, it's a mountain trail, so it's quite steep up the mountain, but a certain level of fitness is required.
Okay, cool. Right, then I take you to 12 Adventure Camp. We're also doing some major work there.
Yes. So exciting things happening there. We have added another 12 superior tents, which are much bigger than the current ones that we have.
Okay, just for our viewers at the moment, I'm showing what is currently there, not the new stuff.
Yeah.
The new stuff we are doing in our next session when it comes a bit more up close and personal. And as soon as we can actually show you some photos. Sorry, Carsten. Yes.
This is the main area of the current camp, which we also will stay. The new part of the camp will have a bigger restaurant and lounge area, a new swimming pool. We'll have a walkway up on that granite mountain that you can see, so that we can enjoy those fabulous Damaraland sunsets.
Perfect.
And sundowners,
wow.
of course.
Super spot up there. Wow, fabulous. And of course, last but not least, Swakopmund, and we're getting there too.
Yeah. So we have acquired a boutique or little guest house in Swakopmund, which will now be renovated up to the standard of a boutique guest house. And we will also share more of the development within the coming talks and in the coming months.
Well, now what, Carsten, lots and lots of things happening at Ondili, and I'm very proud to be part of Ondili Lodges. I know that you have to do all the work. And of course, Jan is also joining you basically in Windhoek. He's at the moment, I think he is at the Etosha Oberland Lodge. And congratulations again to becoming a dad first time. And I think soon you will be second time around.
Yeah, so
lots of stuff.
Quite a lot of things happening at Ondili. Yeah, Jan will be based at Oberland until the end of August, and then he'll probably, hopefully, join me back in the office. But yeah, so we have lots of things planned, and there's a lot of work to be done. But we're happy to do it, and we're looking forward to welcome guests back sooner rather than later. Ondili is ready. I think we are ready from a marketing side, with thanks to your help, and we are ready for guests.
Absolutely. And we are not only ready, we actually really want you to come to Namibia and enjoy this fabulous country. And as I just said, we wrap up for today for people to enjoy this talk. And there is, of course, lots more to talk. And I will structure some more episodes with Jan and Carsten, where we go a little bit more into detail with the different lodges and also some more projects. And so watch the space and watch out for the next Africa Goes Live with Ondili Lodges, Carsten or Jan. Thank you very much, Carsten, for your time today.
Thank you, Michaela. Bye.